A month of 80th birthday celebrations for former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev has culminated this week with a star-studded gala in London. He was dubbed the man who changed the world, but in Russia, opinion on the USSR's last leader is not so positive. Moscow correspondent Norman Hermont reports.
To mark his 80th birthday, Mikhail Gorbachev was feted as a hero in London. Film stars and politicians praised him for his role in ending the Cold War. In Russia, many still see him as the leader who threw away the mighty Soviet Union. But Mr. Gorbachev still draws a crowd, and he has lots of advice for those running the country, President Dmitry Medvedev and Prime Minister Vladimir Putin.
True, they get annoyed and criticise me. I say to them, one should not be arrogant. I remember from my own experience, arrogance was my bad assistant.
He has relentlessly criticized Russia's ruling tandem, a question that made headlines recently over very different views on Western airstrikes in Libya. Prime Minister Vladimir Putin was scathing. For me, it resembles medieval calls for crusades, he said. President Dmitry Medvedev was quick to contradict him.
In no way is it acceptable to use expressions that, in essence, lead to a clash of civilizations, such as crusades and so forth. This is unacceptable.
Unacceptable, too, says the former Soviet leader, is the way Russia's so-called democracy has developed since the end of the USSR. There have been no real free and fair elections, he says. In next year's presidential vote, he expects more of the same.
Yes, that's what we got. If nothing's going to change, the situation will remain pretty much the same, but the end will be bad.
At age 80, Mikhail Gorbachev isn't prepared to accept the role of yesterday's man. He's a part owner of one of Russia's most progressive newspapers, and he's a frequent political commentator. The USSR's last leader still has plenty to say about the country that emerged after the collapse of the Soviet Union. More often than not, he doesn't like what he sees. Norman Hermont, ABC News, Moscow.